Donald Trump. The name alone sparks passion, division, and fascination. A street fighter, a dealmaker, a celebrity, a president, and a man whose life story reads like a Hollywood blockbuster. From the glittering skyscrapers of Manhattan to the cutthroat world of politics, Trump has lived a life of dizzying highs and crushing lows. But what shaped him? How did a kid from Queens become one of the most polarizing figures in modern history? And how have recent health concerns cast a new light on his relentless drive? So buckle up for a deep dive into the life of Donald J. Trump. From the boardroom to the ballot box, from triumphs to trials, this is a story of ambition, resilience, and reinvention. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York, the fourth of five children in a family that valued hard work and unrelenting ambition. His father, Fred Trump, was the son of German immigrants, a self-made real estate mogul who built a fortune constructing middle-class housing in Brooklyn and Queens. Fred's mantra was simple but brutal: be a killer, work hard, never show weakness, and win at all costs. These words would echo through Donald's life, shaping his every move. In 1971, at just 25, Donald was named president of the company. His first major act was a bold rebrand, renaming the firm the Trump Organization. The name change was more than cosmetic. It signaled Donald's intent to transform the family business into a glamorous, high-profile empire. Trump wasn't just a name, it was a brand, a promise of luxury and success. Donald set his sights on Manhattan, a far cry from the modest rentals of Queens. He moved into an Upper East Side apartment and began frequenting elite nightclubs, always with a beautiful woman on his arm. These weren't just social outings, they were strategic. Donald was marketing himself, building a persona as a charismatic, larger-than-life dealmaker. His name began appearing in the gossip columns, a calculated step toward fame. But fame came with scrutiny. In 1973, the Trump Organization faced a Department of Justice lawsuit alleging racial discrimination in its rental practices. The headline in the New York Times was damning: "Major landlord accused of anti-black bias in city." For Donald, who craved the approval of the city's elite, it was a blow. Most lawyers advised settling, but Donald, true to his father's killer ethos, refused. He hired Roy Cohn, a ruthless attorney known for his aggressive tactics. Cohn filed a $100 million countersuit against the government, a bold move that, while unsuccessful, allowed the Trumps to settle without admitting guilt. It was a lesson Donald would carry forever: never admit fault and fight back harder. The 1970s were a turning point. New York City was in crisis. Crime was rampant, and property values were at historic lows. For an ambitious developer, it was a golden opportunity. Donald seized it, targeting high-profile projects that would cement his name in the city's skyline. His first major coup was the Commodore Hotel, a dilapidated property near Grand Central Terminal. Leveraging his father's political connections, Donald secured the rights to redevelop it into the Grand Hyatt, a glittering symbol of his ambition. The project wasn't just a building, it was a statement. Critics who dismissed him as a daddy's boy were silenced as the hotel became a success. The 1980s were Donald's decade. He expanded into casinos in Atlantic City, launched the Trump Shuttle airline, and published The Art of the Deal in 1987, a bestseller that mythologized his deal-making prowess. To millions, Trump embodied the era's greed is good ethos. He was a celebrity, a fixture on talk shows, and a symbol of the American dream. But beneath the glitz, cracks were forming. The 1990s brought Donald's empire to the brink. His aggressive expansion, fueled by massive debt, left him vulnerable when the U.S. economy slipped into recession in 1990. His casinos, airline, and real estate ventures hemorrhaged cash. At one point, Donald was $3 billion in debt, forcing him to sell assets like his yacht in the Grand Hyatt. His 3 casinos filed for bankruptcy, and he was even put on a personal allowance by his bankers. Donald Trump's comeback was as audacious as his rise. He sold the rail yards to a Hong Kong consortium, easing his financial burden. Taking his Trump Plaza casino public provided cash flow, and his knack for publicity kept him in the spotlight. He acquired high-profile assets like the Miss Universe pageant and a Wall Street skyscraper he renamed the Trump Building. In 1997, he published The Art of the Comeback, proclaiming his return to glory. The real game changer came in 2004 with The Apprentice. The reality show, watched by 20 million viewers weekly, recast Donald as America's ultimate businessman. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became a cultural phenomenon. The show earned him nearly $500 million and transformed his brand from real estate to celebrity. Trump-branded products, suits, fragrances, even steaks, proliferated, though many flopped. The point wasn't their success, it was the narrative of triumph. Donald's flirtation with politics began in the 1980s. His full-page ad in the New York Times criticizing U.S. foreign policy showed his knack for grabbing attention. By the 2000s, he was a regular on talk shows, opining on trade and national strength. In 1999, he briefly joined the Reform Party, exploring a presidential run with Oprah Winfrey as a potential running mate. He won the California primary but dropped out, wary of a loss that would tarnish his image. The 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, where President Barack Obama mocked him over birther claims, was a turning point. Humiliated, Donald vowed to prove his detractors wrong. By 2015, the political landscape was ripe for his brand of disruption. The Tea Party movement and growing distrust in elites created an opening for an outsider. On June 16, 2015, Donald descended the Trump Tower escalator to announce his candidacy, promising to make America great again. His campaign was electric. He dominated debates with brash, unfiltered rhetoric, calling for a border wall and railing against trade deals. The media scoffed, but voters, especially disaffected Republicans, rallied to his message. Despite controversies like the Access Hollywood tape, Trump's resilience and media savvy propelled him to the Republican nomination on November 8, 2016, to a stunning victory over Hillary Clinton. As the 45th president, sworn in on January 20, 2017, Trump reshaped American politics. His administration pushed tax cuts, deregulation, and a hardline stance on immigration. He appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, cementing a conservative legacy. But his presidency was chaotic, marked by controversies like the Russia investigation, impeachment trials, and a combative relationship with the media. Trump's response to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 became a defining issue. His early dismissal of the virus and mixed messaging on masks and vaccines drew criticism, though his Operation Warp Speed accelerated vaccine development. The pandemic also hit him personally. On October 2, 2020, Trump contracted COVID-19, requiring hospitalization at Walter Reed Medical Center. His recovery was swift, but the episode raised questions about his health, given his age, 74 at the time, and reported risk factors like weight. The 2020 election loss to Joe Biden was a blow. Trump's claims of voter fraud, culminating in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, deepened national divisions. Yet he remained a dominant figure in the Republican Party, announcing his 2024 candidacy in November 2022. In recent years, health concerns have added a human dimension to Trump's story. While specific details remain private, reports from 2023-2025, based on public appearances and limited disclosures, have speculated about his physical and mental stamina. At 79 as of 2025, Trump's high-energy campaign style, rallies, interviews, and social media posts, suggests resilience. But observers note occasional signs of fatigue or verbal missteps, sparking debates about age-related decline. Unlike his COVID-19 bout, which was well documented, recent health discussions are murkier. No verified diagnoses have emerged, but the scrutiny reflects a broader truth. Even larger-than-life figures face mortality. Trump's response has been vintage, deflection, and bravado. He's dismissed health concerns as fake news, emphasizing his active lifestyle